Hey everyone, Joshua Nesser, and we're in Johnson Valley, California, home of King of the Hammers, and these are my top 10 favorite easy trails here in Southern California.
Scenic number 10, Saline Valley Road, Death Valley. This is extremely easy trail, meaning two-wheel drive vehicles will probably be fine on this road. Now, this is one of the longest roads out there, so expect to spend all day. I mean, you're talking 8 hours on this trail. It does take on average 5 hours to get from Southern California to the trail and 5 hours home, so this is going to be one of the longer trails out there. The climate on this trail is, well, it's unique as it has desert and mountains, so you could sort of find the right place to camp always. But with that said, you don't want to be in there summer because the summer is just too hot. Well, up in the mountains, expect the lush forest, but once you get down below, it is the sparse desert. Some of the perks of this trail is that the trail just has amazing scenery, also has a lot of history. This is sort of one of those trails that has it all, as it really just has what you would think would be the ultimate overland trail. You are allowed to camp, and there is a ton of camping on this trail, and there's places that are just magnificent, and places for large groups, but keep in mind, Death Valley are limited group size without a permit. The only negatives about this trail outside of the heat is that it's just so far away and it's going to take up a full day. Expect to spend a good 18 hours if you try to make this a day trip. I highly advise making this a camping trip. Scenic number 9, 1N09 City Creek Trail, Big Bear, California. This is an easy trail for any four-wheel drive vehicle. Expect to spend about 3 hours on the trail, and the perk is it's only about 45 minutes away from anywhere in Southern California, or at least LA Orange County. The trail is a mild climate because it's sort of high elevation, but it's not so high that you're going to get snowed out. It is that desert mountain terrain, so it's not forest, but it's not sparse. Some of the perks of this trail is it's very cool scenery, has a lot of water crossings, and there's even a water control station that's fun to walk down to and explore. There is a little bit of camping, but I wouldn't say this is a camping trail. Number 8, 3N16 Holcomb Valley Road up in Big Bear, California. This is an easy trail, and you will see two-wheel drive vehicles on it. The trail to go both sides is going to take you about 2 hours, and it's about 2 hours to get to from LA Orange County. This is up in the mountains. When it's hot below, it can be cool up there, and in the winter, there's most likely going to be snow. This is up in the forest, but unfortunately there has been some fires that burned some areas down. Some of the cool stuff on this trail is there's a ton of mining history, great camping, beautiful scenery, and usually provides a unique change to the daily lives of us here in Southern California. There is great camping on this trail, actually some of the best camping, and it's everywhere you want to go, some great spots. There's plenty of spaces to camp for groups of any size, so keep that in the back of your mind. The negatives is, well, there's a massive fire scar across this trail, and it can get some pretty bad weather and be icy in the winter. This is a great trail to go out, have a little fun, take it on an adventure, and find yourself. Number 7, Fish Creek, Anza-Borrego State Park. This is an easy trail, but you will want four-wheel drive. To get from both sides of the trail, you're going to spend about 2 hours total, but then you have to backtrack back out. It takes about 3 hours to get to this trail and 3 hours to get home from anywhere in LA and Orange County. This is low desert, so it's going to be very hot in the summer, so you have to plan these trails in the winter where it'll be about 80 degrees then. This is sparse desert atmosphere, so don't expect to see much wildlife, maybe a bighorn sheep here or there. Now, what brings people here is the beautiful scenery and unique features, including things like this fault line, there's Sandstone Canyon, and some just amazing desert scenery, and that's why it's a state park. There is camping on this trail, and there's plenty of camping out there for any size group, but there's no shade, so just keep that in the back of your mind. Overall, the camping's pretty decent. The negatives is this trail is just so hot. It just gets way too hot, too easy. In the winter, it could be 100 degrees. For number 6, we have Alabama Hills near Lone Pine, California. This is a easy area, and you will see two-wheel drive vehicles everywhere. It takes about 30 minutes to do the entire area, maybe an hour if you take your time, but it does take around 4 hours to get to from LA Orange County. This is desert atmosphere with tall mountains all around it, which makes some of the most beautiful scenery out there. Add on these unique rock shapes and it's just one popular place. Did I mention you have the best view of Mount Whitney in the background? Because of this, it is very popular in Western film history and also makes really cool camping. With that said, there's a lot of camping for most size groups, but anything past 3 or 4 vehicles, you're going to be struggling to find a place where you can all camp easy. There is space for RVs out there, so keep that in the back of your mind. Now, the negative about this place is the weather. It can be hot in the summer and cold in the winter, and also this area is known for wind, so watch out for that. Scenic number 5, Santiago Peak, which is a combination of Maple Springs Road and North Main Divide in Orange County, California. This is a very easy trail and you will see 2-wheel drive vehicles on the trail. It takes about 2 to 3 hours to get to the top mountain and it's maybe 15 minutes from a lot of places in Orange County. Might be less than an hour from places in LA. This area used to be a lush forest, but due to all the fires in the area, now it's sort of a wooded brush area with occasional pine trees here and there. But it is up on the mountains and some stunning views. That's what brings most people here. I highly recommend the sunset if you're going to go do this trail. There is also some areas where you can test out your vehicles and just push it past the easy. As for camping on this trail, there is no camping on this trail. The other negative of this trail is that the gate at the bottom of the hill is often closed for unknown reasons. They say weather, but it's been known to close even on sunny days. Overall, this is a great trip and I highly recommend for first-time off-roaders. Number 4, Afton Canyon, Mojave Desert, which is near Barstow, California. This is a easy to intermediate trail, so you are going to need 4-wheel drive and a little bit of ground clearance will help. It takes about 2 to 3 hours to enjoy this area fully, and it takes about 2 hours to get to. This is the desert, so it's going to be hot in the summer and cold in the winter. Overall, it's a beautiful desert scenery with lots of sand cliffs. One of the main attraction points to this area is the fact that the Mojave River flows above ground. Outside that, there is a ton of exploring, from the Mojave Megaphone to slot canyons to derailed train cars and also to Spooky Cave.
So as we go in the canyon, it gets a little narrow. Eventually it's closed up almost completely. There's still a little bit of light coming in. We're going to keep heading up. There's a little bit of climbing and hiking involved. Usually right around this corner. Here we go.
This area does have a campground and has great camping off the trail, so it doesn't matter how big your group is, there's something for everybody. The true negative about this trail is just the weather. It's hot in the summer, cold in the winter. Sitting at number 3, 2N02 Burns Canyon. This is Big Bear, California. This trail is on the harder side of easy, but could potentially be done in a 2-wheel drive vehicle in the right conditions. The trail takes about 3 hours to complete, and one side of the trail takes about 2 hours to get to, while the other side takes a little longer. This trail is unique as it starts in the desert floor and works its way up the mountain, so there's always good weather. At the desert floor, it'll be full of Joshua trees, beautiful cactuses. As you work your way up the mountain, it'll become shrubs, and eventually as you get in the mountains, it'll become pine forest with the occasional redwood. This trail offers some legendary exploring, from the amazing Verseca Springs with koi fish ponds, to the cabins, to mines, and has an amazing mining history on top of that, including the Rose Mine. Overall, the scenery on this trail is probably some of the best scenery of any trail, as it provides a wide range of what you're going to see along the route. Don't forget your camera. This is one of those trails you're definitely going to have it with you. Because of the wide range of scenery, there is some legendary camping along this route, and you can find spots for almost any size. The only real negative about this trail is that the road can be rough at times, so it just sort of bumps and jars you around. Sitting at number 2, Sandstone Canyon, Anza-Borrego State Park, California. This is an easy trail now, and it only takes about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to complete. Disadvantages, it takes about 4 hours to get to the trailhead, so it's 8 hours total drive time outside of getting to this trail. This is desert climate, so it's going to be extremely hot in the summer, so best time to pick this trail is middle of winter. Since this is the desert, don't expect very much plant life outside of the small shrubs and the occasional ocotillo. What brings people to this trail is these towering sandstone cliffs. In some spots, these cliffs are over 200 feet tall, and the trail is only about 10 feet wide, and it makes for some of the most epic driving you'll ever do in your life. It also has some beautiful colors, and look up on the cliff walls as there's some interesting watermarks, and occasionally you'll see a tire track 30-40 feet up, and that's just from a few years ago. As far as camping though, there is some cool camping, but since you're in a slot canyon, there isn't many places for groups over about 5 to 7 vehicles. So if you're bigger than that, you might want to camp out in Fish Creek, but if you do camp in this canyon, it is pretty legendary. The real negative about this trail is that it's just so hot in the summers. Many people say this is their number one trail, so let me know below what you think. Is this the number one trail, or is the trail after this the true number one? Sitting at my number one spot, the Reward Mine near Lone Pine, California. This is a harder, easy trail, meaning you're going to need full drive and maybe a little bit of ground clearance. It is a short trail, so you're only going to probably spend about an hour on it, and it takes a good 4 hours to get to. Now, this is great to combine with Alabama Hills and maybe Sierra Gordo. Because of this is actually inside of a mountain, the weather inside's perfect, always, doesn't matter if it's summer or winter. So keep that in the back of your mind. If it's hot outside, it's a good place to stop just to even cool off. Outside the mine shaft, there's a beautiful view of Mount Whitney off in the distance. And this is a desert environment, so it will be hot in the summer, cold in the winter. Some of the cool things about this trail is, well, let's be honest, you're inside of a mine shaft. This is a wow factor, and anyone that's ever done this trail with me has said this is probably the coolest thing they've ever done in their lives. Outside, you also have Mount Whitney, so combine it with Alabama Hills and also Sierra Gordo, and that makes for one legendary, epic day. The camping situation is not that great. There is some good spaces to camp outside, but I recommend camping over Alabama Hills. The only real negative about this trail is it is dang scary to be inside that mountain, because the first thing I think about, what happens if there's an earthquake? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share, and comment below. Let us know how this ranks out to your top 10. If we missed a trail, let us know. Well, it's time to get out on the trail again. Be safe. Hope to see you on the trail.